vast majority of Democrats do not want this. None of those 8 Senate Democrats are up for re-election next year, and 2 have announced they are retiring from the Senate. What a disappointing way to end your career. Reminds me when Journey released their last single, We Stopped Believin'.
They're so pathetic. It's just bad politics and bad comedy. But it's good propaganda. And that's what they genuinely care about, aren't they amazing? Our number 3. Crazy Democrat rascals. Yes, sir. So the Democrats shamed and disgraced into trying to get everything back to normal. We've got air traffic in the United States of America is being choked to death by the Democrat Party. Thousands and thousands of flights canceled, many thousands more delayed interminably. Even airline pilots coming out of the cockpit to bellow at the passengers in the back by way of the flight attendants' public address system. And that's just the beginning of it. And the Democrats, they want to subsidize Obamacare because it's broke. She's a broke. She's a no good. She's a no work. She's like a Joe Biden's a brain. In fact, we were just talking about this a couple of minutes ago. Remember when Barack Hussein Obama signed the Obamacare Act, they ironically called it the Affordable Care Act and made everything much, much, much less affordable in the United States of America. But you remember when Barack Obama was signing the bill into law to ruin everything because he's a commie, Joe Biden was standing there, and he's so stupid that he was surrounded by cameras and microphones, and he cursed. I can't share with you, but we had it at the time. Joe Biden said this. Yay! He's slowing the ride. This is a big beeping deal, Joe Biden said, and the cameras were on it and the microphones were on it, and even Barack Obama rolled his eyes at Joe Biden when he did that ridiculous moment. And it's been a catastrophe ever since. Again, that was in 2010. He signed it in March of 2010. That's 15 years ago. And the Democrats just keep lying back to the well. We need another $1.5 trillion because we're making everything better. You know, we're making it all better. Just appalling. These ridiculous people. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's go to soundbite number 7. Number 7, we've got Louisiana Republican Senator John Kennedy, not the one that a communist shot in the head, the president, and killed. That's different. They did shoot Donald Trump in the head, though, through the ear. They did. And they shot Ronald Reagan in the chest. And the Democrat Party, they're not the good guys. Senator John Kennedy, he was on the Fox News channel, and he's always entertaining because he's John Kennedy. And he was talking to Will Cain. Hey, why did you people on Capitol Hill shut the government down anyway?
Why did we shut down the government?
Well, I want to be careful, Will. I don't want to do anything to upset our agreement. If I did that, my colleagues would, they'd have Katie Porter slap me to Pluto, and I couldn't blame them.
They'd have Katie Porter. The Democrats would have Katie Porter slap me to Pluto. Pluto, he said. Got the T in there, Pluto. And Katie Porter, she's the one who was talking to her 9-year-old daughter, and her 9-year-old daughter told her the earth is on fire and we're all going to die soon, and that made her angry, Katie Porter. She's mental. She's not in the House anymore. She's running for more elected office, though. Senator John Kennedy on Chuck Schumer and the Schumer shutdown.
Senator Schumer chose to have this shutdown. And it's clear, it was clear at the time, it's clear now. He just dug up more snakes than he could kill. His demands were unreasonable. They were so unreasonable that they weren't even within the realm of possibility on my side of the aisle. We couldn't possibly do what Senator Schumer wanted us to do.
Couldn't possibly do what Senator Schumer wanted us to do, and so it didn't happen. And I got to tell you, the turtle, Mitch McConnell, when he was in charge of the Senate, he was much better at it, and as annoying as he could be, he was much better at it than Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer is bad at everything, and he lies about everything, and then he lies about everything that he lied about earlier with new lies because he's a ridiculous person. I also want to get to the story today having to do with the woman who is now a suspect in the 2 pipe bombs going back to the January 6th. It was January 5th that some mysterious person placed a pipe bomb in Washington, D.C., at the Democratic National Committee headquarters and near the Republican National Committee headquarters. And the Blaze came up with a story, breaking news, naming a woman, a U.S. Capitol Police officer, who then went to work over at the Central Intelligence Agency at the CIA. And Glenn Beck came out and spoke about that yesterday or last night, and I want to share that with you because it turns out that story is kind of sputtering, petering out. It's hard to say where it's going to go from here, but we're going to keep our eye on it. And also, Dan Bongino, now deputy director at the FBI, when he was doing his radio show, was very interested in the pipe bombing story, and now he's the number 2 at the FBI. Perhaps Dan Bongino can hold a press conference and explain what's going on with this U.S. Capitol Police officer who appears to be at a bare minimum a suspect in the pipe bombing drops at the DNC and RNC in 2021. And I've got an update for you on that because it's kind of interesting. And also Kathy Hochul and Zohran Mamdani when I get to those as well. Right now, let's go back to the telephones, Michael. Let's go to Scott calling from Salina, Kansas. Scott, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, Scott.
Hopefully everything's hunky-dory in your world.
Well, we're working on it. I'm working on it every day. I'm still trying to make a couple of things more hunky-dory than they are right now, now that you mention it. But don't get me started.
Okay, well, I tried not to. By the way, is there a reason that Kimmel and Colbert and Myers just can't be funny? Gee whiz.
It's a fair question and a good. They have teams, rooms full of writers who are paid to be comedy writers on network television, and they just can't come up with anything funny. And I got to say, Scott, it's a good and legitimate question. Those shows have been funny throughout the ages, but I think the reality is the left has just stopped being funny. They're bitter and angry about everything, and they're not happy unless they're not happy.
Well, and the other thing is my brain doesn't work as quick as yours, but gee whiz, those writers are way overpaid.
That's for sure.
My question is, how come, and I told Jasmine this, and she sounds great on the phone, by the way, how come we didn't fix this 10 years ago, the ACA?
Well, that's a fun question.
The White House.
Yeah.
And, we had the Senate and not the typical Democrat thing of just let's throw more money at it because that's worked great for the education department.
Right.
I just don't understand.
Well, the thing is, you do understand, and we've got political leaders here in Washington that really don't understand, and they don't care because they get away with murder because of a corrupt fourth estate, a corrupt news media, and they become so accustomed to and so comfortable with lying to us and tricking us, and the news media and the Democrat Party working in concert with one another. They spread the big lie. They, like their forebears, Joseph Goebbels and the others, make the lie so big that no one would dare not believe it. And a lie told once remains a lie, but a lie told 1,000 times becomes the truth. And that's what the left in the United States have settled in with, right?
But I mean, the ACA was a debacle from the beginning.
Yeah, it was.
Gee whiz, I had a little private, just me, and it was $150 a month.
Right.
And I got on the government website, and gee whiz, it was just major medical, $150 a month, $2,000 deductible. Okay, the ACA kicks in. Okay, we get government help, $300 a month. It was still $900 a month,
right,
and a $5,000 deductible.
Right, they fixed it.
Gee,
they made it better. The government
fixed it.
Yeah, the government came in and they fixed it. And look, I've told my story too, Scott, where I had Blue Cross Blue Shield. My best girl and I were not married at the time, 15 years ago, and my Blue Cross Blue Shield was $320 a month. For my best girl, it was $230 a month. So it was, like $550 a month for the two of us to have Blue Cross Blue Shield. And fine. Obamacare came along and they fixed it. And then my next monthly premium was $1,300 a month. My best girl's next monthly premium was $1,200 a month. And the entirety of the American news media didn't cover that. They pretended.
They didn't blink an eye.
They really didn't. The most corrupt institution in America is the American news media.
And I'm going to let you go on this. You know why hers was $100 less?
Why?
Because she's much healthier than you are.
Well, that might explain it. That could be the short answer. That's look, they said they made it all better. So we went from $550 a month to $1,550 a month, and they said, "See, we fixed it." And they do that with a straight face or a transgender face or whatever kind of face they bring to the dance. But they're the left, Scott, and they lie and they lie and they lie. They lie about everything. And they make everything worse because that's, the old Ronald Reagan line, we're from the federal government and we're here to help. And that's a punchline. That's a joke line. That's not real. Amazing. Scott, thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for having common sense and being a normal person. I remember Normal. Normal was great. All right, we've got, that's it. I want to get to, there are a couple of big audio things I want to get to before we wrap up today, but let's go to another phone call. Let's go to another Scott. Let's go to Scott calling from Illinois and not Kansas this time. Scott, number 2, you're on the Chris Plant Show. Uh-oh. Did Scott from Illinois say, he's already talking to Scott from Kansas, so he's not going to, that could be it. Might be it right there. It's hard to say. But, Scott from Illinois. I wanted to do 2 Scotts in a row. I don't think I'd ever done 2 Scotts in a row before. But Jasmine lined up 2 Scotts in a row, and I said, we're going to do 2 Scotts in a row. So I wanted to see if the other Scott liked your voice also. It's a very nice voice. Very popular voice. That's wonderful stuff. I was going to ask, too, but he wasn't there. That's too bad. Very sad. All right, we've got the feet kissing, and what else do we have? We got a lot of, New York. Mom Donnie, no feet kissing going on there, and with good reason. But somebody, and then Glenn Beck on the pipe bomb update, the January 6th, January 5th, 2021, DNC, RNC, Washington, D.C., the pipe bombs update from yesterday's story that I shared with you. And you want to hear what Glenn Beck had to say about this. It's a bit of tap dancing going on now, but I'll share that with you. From holiday hosting to unforgettable gifts for family and friends and coworkers, too, Omaha Steaks delivers the world's best steak experience. And right now, during their Sizzle All the Way sale, they've got it because Christmas is coming. It's the Sizzle All the Way sale. You can get 50% off the entire website at omahasteaks.com. And because you're a listener to this humble and excellent radio show, you get an extra $35 off with the promo code PLANT at checkout. Listen, I've told you my best girl and I, we love the filet mignons from Omaha Steaks. We cook them up in my grandfather's iron skillet. It's like 70 years old or something, the iron skillet. Omaha Steaks offers unrivaled quality and variety, and every bite is backed by their 100% guarantee. Every steak is perfectly aged to maximize tenderness and hand-cut by master butchers in America's heartland. They also carry mouth-watering burgers and chicken and pork and seafood, and they have amazing desserts as well. Right now, you save big on gourmet gifts and more holiday favorites with Omaha Steaks. All you have to do is visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off the entire website during their Sizzle All the Way sale and an extra $35 off when you use the promo code PLANT at checkout. That's omahasteaks.com. The promo code is PLANT. Terms apply. See the website for details. Yes, sir. All right, so we've got, I want to update you on the pipe bombs. That's a big deal. And I want to share the update with you on that. And then there's, Mamdani, the Karbami. That's coming up, too. All right, I want to get to Glenn Beck and the update on the pipe bombs from January 6th. But right now, we're just doing a little poking around, and this is sort of fun, actually. In 2013, again, Obama inflicted Obama scare on us in 2010. In 2013, the left-wing hacks at PolitiFact, a Democrat Party front group, named the lie of the year in 2013, and they announced it, PolitiFact did, December 12th of 2013. And here's the headline. From PolitiFact, lefties, alleged fact checkers, mostly fake fact checkers. But this one they got right. 2013, the lie of the year, quote, if you like your health care plan, you can keep it. Remember Barack Obama?
If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor under the reform proposals that we put forward. If
Lie.
you like your private health insurance plan, you can keep it.
Lie.
If you like the plan you have, you can keep it.
Lie.
If you like the doctor you have, you can keep your doctor too.
Lie.
We will keep this promise.
Lie.
To the American people.
Right.
If you like your doctor, you will be able to keep your doctor.
You're lying.
Period. If you like your health care plan, you will be able to keep your health care plan. Period.
Yeah, period. That's it. Now, the people at, and I was going back and forth with my friend Tim on this morning, the lie of the year on Obamacare. And in 2013, they write, so this fall, as cancellation letters were going out to approximately 4 million Americans that you can't keep your health care plan if you like it, and you can't keep your doctor if you like your doctor, the public realized Obama's breezy assurances were wrong. They weren't breezy, they weren't wrong, they were lies. Boiling down to the complicated health care law to a soundbite proved treacherous, even for its promoter-in-chief. Obama and his team made matters worse, suggesting they had been misunderstood all along. The stunning political uproar. Lie of the year, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. Who is it? It's Blaze. I believe it's a woman named Blaze. Not to be confused with The Blaze, Glenn Beck's website, which we're going to also. But a woman named Blaze on Twitter has a Twitter account. And Blaze posted something true and insightful and funny. And that is, how is it when 8 Democrats cross the aisle and vote to reopen the government, they're called treacherous, they're called traitors, they say that they betrayed the Democrat Party, but when 8 Republicans cross the aisle to work with Democrats, it's called bipartisanship. Kind of interesting, isn't it? Because the communists, they're angry and bitter about everything, and they lie about everything, and they're not happy unless they're not happy. But if Democrats cross the aisle to work with the majority of the Senate to open the government, then they're treacherous, they're treasonous, they're traitorous, they're all kinds of bad TR words that the Democrats suddenly don't like. But if 8 Republicans come over to vote with the Democrats, at long last, Republican bipartisanship working with the Democrats. because it's like communism. It really is. It's completely crazy. And speaking of the shutdown, this is pretty funny. I read yesterday, Democrat Senator Jeanne Shaheen is one of the 8 Democrat senators that crossed over to work in a bipartisan way and reopen the government. And the Democrats want to kill her and her family, and they want to hang her dog in front of her house. These people are not good people. But listen to this, because this is funny. Jeanne Shaheen, it's a family business in Democrat circles. You know, they're talking about Chelsea Clinton running for elected office because why not? And who do we have? Nancy Pelosi's daughter is running for elected office in California now because we're like, you know, Bong Marcos in the Philippines taking over from Ferdinand Marcos. But it's part of becoming a third world country. And they, again, we were talking about this last night on Newsmax. The Democrats were just out protesting, no kings, and all their sons and daughters are running for elected office, and often the same elected offices that they're in now. But never mind that. They just pass it down from generation to generation. But here's the story on Jeanne Shaheen. The New York Times very upset today. Jeanne Shaheen faces shutdown blowback from her daughter. What? What's this? Shutdown blowback, Jeanne Shaheen, the Democrat senator, from her own stinking, filthy daughter? Senator Jeanne Shaheen of New Hampshire voted to move to end the shutdown. But her daughter, Stephanie Shaheen, and it's misspelled Stephanie, Stefany, but never mind that. Stephanie Shaheen, a congressional candidate in their state, sharply criticized the deal. Now, you see, the daughter is very angry with her mother. It's going to cause a schism in the family. It's like the Civil War all over again. Congress candidate blasts shutdown deal approved by her mom. Stephanie Shaheen, a Democrat running for Congress and the daughter of Granite State Senator Jeanne Shaheen, blasted the shutdown deal approved by her mom. Very angry, very angry. They're not happy unless they're not happy. The deal to end the government shutdown isn't just dividing Democrats, it's dividing families. Well, it's Democrat families, so it's still just dividing Democrats, you idiots. Stephanie Shaheen, a Democrat running for Congress in New Hampshire, and the daughter of retiring Granite State Senator Jeanne Shaheen. Everybody has to use Granite State in this because, you know, blasted the shutdown deal because it doesn't include a provision demanded by many Democrats to extend federal health care subsidies. So redistribution of wealth, a giant redistribution of wealth, the takeover of health care on the road to government total dominance and takeover of all health care, which means you're becoming a communist state. And that's what the Democrats have been fighting for since before even Barack Obama came along and all that. Yeah, the health care subsidies. We need to both end this shutdown and extend health care subsidies, Stephanie Shaheen wrote on social media. Otherwise, no deal. So she's trying to establish her extremist bona fides before she runs for Congress.
I understand that not all of my Democratic colleagues are satisfied with this agreement, but waiting another week or another month wouldn't deliver a better outcome.
Jeanne Shaheen. Now her daughter is very angry. Her daughter's going to hang her cat in the kitchen because can't have this. And the Democrats, they've got these schisms. And headlines today, these 8 senators broke with Democrats on the government shutdown deal. That's the Associated Press. They broke with, but wait, shouldn't it, Associated Press, shouldn't it be bipartisanship carries the day? 8 Democrats show that bipartisanship lives on. But no. What Democrats gained from the shutdown and could lose by giving in. Isn't that amazing? We got that. Democrats rebel after 8 senators cut a deal to end the shutdown without ACA funds. Again, it should be the UCA, the Unaffordable Care Act, the UCA. Isn't that ridiculous? And you got headlines all over the place attacking the rebel Democrats and rebellion going on in family schisms. And that's because what if it were 8 Republicans coming over, all the media would call bipartisanship. Isn't that great? You're a Democrat party. All right, there's another story I want to get to, these ridiculous Democrats. And there are more ridiculous Democrats because the ridiculous Democrats are everywhere, aren't they? Yes, they are. They're nuts. And I like this one. Angry Democrats call on Schumer to resign after 8 vote to end shutdown. And it's the U.S. federal government shutdown of 2025. And CNN's Manu Raju drops reality check on Hakeem Jeffries for praising Democrats after shutdown. You didn't get what you want. And we already played that one for you. Now, I tell you, what do I want to get to? I want to get to the Glenn Beck story. I definitely do, because we talked about this yesterday. And, of course, there was the violent brawl at the Turning Points USA event at UC Berkeley, too. But never mind that right now. We've got Jasmine Crockett, too. This ridiculous. Let's go to that one. And then I want to get to Glenn Beck talking about the pipe bombs from January 6th, January 5th of 2001. But this is a fun one. The Daily Caller has the story, left-wing radio host literally kisses feet of Jasmine Crockett in deranged act of worship. Progressive radio personality Stephanie Miller took political fandom to a bizarre new level after boasting online that she literally kissed the shoes of Democratic Texas Representative Jasmine Crockett, who is a very severely mentally disturbed person. Crockett has emerged as a leading voice among Democrats, positioning herself as one of the party's most aggressive critics of President Donald Trump, as she signals she might expand her influence with a potential Senate bid. Her growing prominence reaching a high point over the weekend when liberal radio host Stephanie Miller gushed on social media that she had kissed Crockett's sneakers. And there is video of this. I don't know if you've seen it, but this Democrat liberal woman, it's the worst people in America now are middle-aged white liberal women who destroy every election and have every insane Stephanie Miller, every insane idea in the world. Stephanie Miller, who I think claims to be the most popular liberal talk show host in the country or something, which doesn't mean much. But she posted a video of herself literally down on her hands and knees like she's meeting the Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh. I'm sorry, who? Like the Dalai Lama, the Lama. And she's down on her knees. She's wearing jeans and like a baseball shirt. And she's down on her knees and she's kissing the feet she's wearing very fancy gym shoes of some kind, lady gym shoes. And she posted video of this. Now, the video of her actually kissing the feet, there's not a lot of, you can hear her smooching a little, I think. And people around her are looking around like going, why is this woman on her knees down with her elbows down in front of her knees on the floor and kissing the feet of a crazy, mentally ill Democrat member of the House of Representatives?
Can you confirm that I just kissed your sneakers? This is true. She's on camera saying she'll do the radio. I am. We're doing it. Future senator of the great state of Texas. I'm going to miss Ted Cruz so much. He's so likable.
She's going to run against Ted Cruz, who even lifelong Democrat Harvard law professor emeritus Alan Dershowitz said was perhaps the smartest student he had ever had in about 50 years of teaching law at Harvard was Ted Cruz and not Barack Obama. This is a cult. This is very, very cult-like behavior. And the Daily Caller tweeted it out. Liberal radio host Stephanie Miller literally kissed the shoes of Jasmine Crockett and said, "I do worship the ground she walks on." What kind of liberalism is this? The Daily Caller tweeted out. It's what the Democrat Party has become. Just mentally disturbed. Stephanie Miller, L.A. radio show host, goes viral over kissing the feet of Democrat Representative Jasmine Crockett. Listen to this. The host of the #1 liberal radio talk show in the country. Really? Never heard of her. Stephanie Miller posted images of herself kissing the sneakers of Representative Jasmine Crockett, who then confirmed the fact in a video, and she's agreed to go on a radio show. I got to tell you, these people are very, very unwell. All right, now I want to get to, but it's the cult that they've created for themselves, and the mental illness is perfectly normal. Just amazing. I don't know if we're going to be able to get to the bloody brawl at Berkeley for the Turning Point USA event, but they're violent and mentally ill too. Now, hang on. Here's a story, and I got this. A friend of mine wrote this. William Marshall in Town Hall. Bill Marshall with the headline: Kash Patel's big test. FBI director, you know, how he handles the government's J6 pipe bomb suspect. There should have been a press conference already, I think, Kash Patel and Dan Bongino on this. But let's go to Glenn Beck, because I told you all about this yesterday. And there is a woman who was a U.S. Capitol police officer at the time of January 6th. And there is video showing her or somebody placing a pipe bomb at the DNC headquarters, and the same person placed a pipe bomb at the RNC headquarters on January 5th, of 2021. And then January 6th was the little dust-up on Capitol Hill that was mostly peaceful. And now a video analysis of the woman and her stride, her gait, G-A-I-T, not G-A-T-E, her gait, the way she walks, has been analyzed. And they've identified this woman as this person placing the pipe bombs as a now former U.S. Capitol Police officer who has been named. And she then went to work at the Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA, apparently as a security officer there. And it looks like this woman may have been the person that placed the pipe bombs at the DNC headquarters and the RNC headquarters based on video analysis. Now, last night, the big boss, creator Glenn Beck at The Blaze, posted a video updating this because this story broke on The Blaze. And it's like, well, wait a minute. We've got this woman. Why isn't the FBI holding a press conference saying that this video analysis reveals that the woman that placed the pipe bombs, the person that placed the pipe bombs, was a woman who was a U.S. Capitol Police officer at the time who now works for the CIA. Glenn Beck came out, I guess, in an effort to kind of clear things up a little, sort of, kind of, and maybe walk the story back.
So, Blaze News arranged for a forensic gait analysis. This isn't guesswork. This is a scientific algorithm.
The way she walks.
The knee flexing, the hip extension, the step length, the cadence, and variance. It's like a digital footprint of how a person moves through space. Well, the software returned a 94% match between the bomber's walk and that of the walk of a former Capitol Police officer, who I'm not going to name here. And I'll tell you why I'm not going to name her here. When the analysts that were human, they looked at it, they put the match closer to 98%. Now, let me stop here and tell you why I'm not telling you the name of this person, because a match is not guilt. A comparison is not proof.
Shawnee Kirkhoff.
This person of interest is still a citizen whose life carries the same dignity and presumption of innocence as yours and mine, and I can't tell you what is true in this story yet.
You know, I said this yesterday, and I said, you know, this video, I said, I think the woman who I will name, her name is Shawnee Kirkhoff, and I know that because she was named, along with photos and videos of her and analysis of her walk, her gait, her stride, her posture. She apparently had a knee or a leg injury when she was a college athlete and has a distinctive limp. And the woman, Shawnee Kirkhoff, who was a U.S. Capitol Police officer and now works apparently security at the CIA. Remarkable stuff. And Glenn Beck now says, I'm not going to name her. They were naming her. It was their outfit, The Blaze, that named her in the first place. And now I sense that the Blaze is backing up a little, and Glenn Beck is backing up a little. And Shawnee Kirchhoff, I think, if she were completely innocent, she should be out here holding a press conference and threatening a lawsuit or something. That's what everybody does, right? Threatens a lawsuit. But it looks like that story there was a lot of wind in the sails yesterday, and 24 hours later, not a lot of wind in the sails. And it does look from here like Glenn Beck may be backpedaling, backing off of that story, not standing firm on the analysis of the gait, the stride, the walking of the woman who was named as a suspect when I was on the air yesterday. And now saying, well, but I did say yesterday that she gets a chance to answer questions on this and respond and give her side of the story. But that whole thing looks like it's gone up in a little bit of puff of smoke. I got to say, Kash Patel and Dan Bongino ought to be talking about this if there were something to sink your teeth into. What is it with Democrats and children, honestly? Yesterday I was telling you about a story, a New Hampshire, and their first transgender elected representative, Stacey Loughton, who pleaded guilty to child exploitation charges, and he, who says he's a she because he says he's transgender, but that's just a joke, asked his partner, who worked at a daycare center, to send him nude photos of kids, and that's perfectly normal. And that goes with a story today out of New Orleans in Louisiana. Orleans sheriff says she missed campaign report deadline because her attorney was in prison. And it turns out the Orleans Parish Sheriff, Susan Hudson, who was running for re-election, didn't file the necessary papers in time. And now she is blaming her attorney. And it turns out that her attorney, longtime Democrat lobbyist, named Berland. It turns out he's in prison, Jimmy Berland. And she says, well, I couldn't file the paperwork because my attorney was in prison. Well, of course, you're the sheriff and your attorney's in prison, you see. And they had a pack and all that. Longtime Louisiana lobbyist Berland pled guilty to federal charges of possessing child pornography. What is it with these Democrats? In November of 2024, 3 months before Sheriff Hudson's PAC was supposed to submit the paperwork. But she's like, hey, my lawyer was in prison for child porn, so I couldn't file my paperwork to run for sheriff. Ah.